course. Well, Larry, let's start by talking a little bit about you. Tell us a little bit about yourself, some of your backstory, and what inspired you to kind of become passionate about the Second Amendment and becoming a firearms instructor.
Sure. Well, what happened was I grew up in the country in the middle of nowhere, and guns were just part of our culture, as part of our lives. And as I got older, I was into that, and I've been working in the gun business off and on over my whole life. I was what's called the SOT. That's a special occupational taxpayer. That's a dealer and manufacturer. We did that, and I've written for gun magazines. I was a concealed weapons instructor for a decade here in Utah. Did that, and then I became a novelist, and I'm a New York Times bestseller, and I was very successful with that, and that's what I've been doing. Then I had an opportunity recently to write a book about, in defense of the Second Amendment. So they needed someone who was a good, articulate writer and storyteller to kind of sum up all these arguments and the debate over the Second Amendment. And so they came to me, which was awesome, and it was a great opportunity, and uh, I was very thankful I got the chance to write this book, and I hope it helps people.
Wow, well, that's awesome. So, I want to go through kind of some of the myths about the Second Amendment as well as guns and kind of get your thoughts on those things. So, I feel like there's been some confusion surrounding it, mostly because of school shootings, because every time a school shooting happens, people kind of use that opportunity to talk about why guns should be outlawed or have some kind of increased limitation every time that happens. So I know you're a big proponent of letting teachers be armed in school. Do you think this would solve the problem of school shootings, or at least eliminate most of them from happening?
The thing is that we have these events that happen in school, and they're tragic and they're horrifying, and the people that are in favor of gun control immediately capitalize on when emotions are high. And here in Utah is where I was a concealed weapons instructor. We have had armed teachers for a very long time, over a decade. And it's just like if you have a concealed weapons permit and you can carry your firearm to work, this is the same thing, only schools are just where you work. I'm not in favor of mandating teachers be armed, but if a teacher would like to do so and they're trained and they're capable, there's no reason not to. It's just like your car has redundant safety features. You have seat belts, brakes, tail lights, signals. All that stuff is there as a layer of defense to try to prevent a bad thing from happening. But no, we don't count on just one. But with our schools, we just count on one layer of defense, and that is have the cops come. But the problem is that by the time the police get there, the bad guy has had a lot of time to work. So an armed teacher is just a speed bump. They might be able to stop them. They might not, but at least at minimum, they're slowing them down.